they've just won.
Right.
Before you even started the debate. Why? Because you agree with their foundational premise that you don't need the Bible for truth. You've agreed with them that man's word is the ultimate authority. Now we're just arguing over which man, me or you.
I remember several years ago when I was told that I was oppressed and I didn't know it, that I was a victim of white hegemony and that I didn't know it. And what was interesting was that I was actually, and this is important for the sake of the conversation, but I was being told this by a white woman who said that I didn't know that I was oppressed, right? That I was oppressed by the man. And of course, I had never met her before in my life. She was commenting on a post that I made that was challenging critical race theory. And operating in a public capacity, I always feel like I've made a public statement. I am not going to take it personally. If you publicly comment on that statement, that's fine, right? Sure. But she started kind of getting really personal. And one of the things that I did, and this is to your 3 questions, it's question number 2. One of the things that I did was I said, "Are you a Christian?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Then make a case for me. Your position, make your case from God's word." Well, she came back with all of these links to the experts that I needed to read, all of the critical race theory, the Robin DiAngelos and the, Ibram X. Kendi and all of these people. Right. And I just said, let's say that I don't read your books. Make your case from God's word. And can I just tell you, Bryan, the conversation was over. When you challenge them, if people invite you to play ball, right? Like you say, okay, yeah, but let's use my ball, right? Like if you, we're going to use my ball. I'm like, I don't trust your ball and your ball is not reliable. So we let's play ball, but let's use my ball. I think when Christians start doing that, it shows I trust God's word. Like we can rely on his word. He's not going to let us down. We're not going to get out in the public square and be shamed. But I do think that Christians kind of expect to be embarrassed when they're having these conversations.
Oh, and to your point, something we talk about often here at the ministry is that no matter what the issue is, there is no neutrality.
That's right.
It doesn't exist. Either you're with Christ or against. Either you walk in light or you walk in darkness. Christ said, either you gather with me or you scatter. The mindset on the flesh is not neutral towards God. It is hostile towards God. There is no such thing as neutrality. And Meeke, to your point, when our culture today says, hey, let's meet over here, let's talk about sexuality or abortion or gender, whatever, let's talk about that, but let's meet on neutral ground. And they'll continue to say, and of course, we don't believe the Bible, so just leave the Bible out of the discussion. Let's talk about this issue on neutral ground. Well, if you agree to do that, they've just won.
Right.
Before you even started the debate. Why? Because you agree with their foundational premise that you don't need the Bible for truth. You've agreed with them that man's word is the ultimate authority. Now we're just arguing over which man, me or you, which person, me or you. But we still agree with their foundational premise. And so if you give up biblical authority, you've lost before you even started. That's a terrible way to start a debate.
That's right.
No, we stand on God's word. It is our sword. It is our rock. We take every thought captive, make it obedient to Christ. And Meeke, what makes me ever even more sad on this is that Christians, I think, give up that authority thinking they're doing a right thing to reach out to people. And actually, it's the absolute wrong thing. And they're giving them a foundation that gives them a worldview, that gives them answers, that gives them right understanding for empathy and compassion and for love and for justice. They're giving up the house. Right. Biblical authority. When they've already got it all, you've got it. Just stand, proclaim, and defend. And don't forget, as you well know, Meeke, it's not my words that have power. I can be very emotional. I can get excited about it. I can say it with sometimes clarity, sometimes not, but sometimes it comes out good. But no matter how good or bad my words are, they have no power. God's word has the power. Amen. God's spirit is the power. So I don't depend on myself. I depend on God's word. What does he say? What are his precepts? What is his good news found in his word? I share that truth in his word. That changes heart. That changes lives. Not me, but God's word. If you give up God's word, you've given up the power to do anything.
That's right.
We stand on that foundation.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.